Hello everyone, welcome to Texture Myth. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to reactive forms in Angular, where we will see how to use isFormControl method. So in this session, I'll show you what are the steps to implement isFormControl in your application, what are benefits, and overall what all pros and cons are there when we are utilizing the isFormControl method. Okay, so by the end of this session you will be able to understand all these things. But before we proceed further with the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use isFormControl method, but prior to that you should know what is form control, what is reactive form. So if you know about at least these things, then things would be much more easier for you. Okay, alright, so now what I'll do, I'll simply show you a demo where I will create one control and we will use isFormControl to verify whether it can be programmatically, we can find out whether it's a form control or not. So currently I am here in HTML file, and one more thing, like as I mentioned, like you can refer the sequential sessions, and for that you can also refer the Texture Myth digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3,500 plus sessions, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can easily consume the content, and if you have anything as a query, you can reach out to me through comment section so that I can help you there. Okay, all right, so here you can see currently I'm in app.component.html file where I have mentioned two heading. One is Angular course by Texture Myth, and second is reactive form in Angular is form control example. After that I have created two horizontal rows, so in between these two horizontal rows we will define the logic. Okay, but before we design the logic, let's define the prerequisites. So for that we will go to app.component.ts file. Here in this ts file, firstly we will specify all the required things like a reactive form module. Okay, then after this I will expand my app component, and remember whatever we have specifying here, it should be imported, because if it is not imported it won't work in your system. Clear? Alright, so now after this what I'll do here, I'll simply make one form control, let's say username. Okay, so I will create like this user name, and then equal, here I will write new form control, and inside this I will set a default value as blank. So I created my form control. Now after this what we will do, we will simply create one method, and that method will help us to identify whether it is a form control or not. Okay, so some of you might be thinking like, we already know we have created form control, then why it is necessary to find out? Because right now we know, but in programs we are not sure, maybe this thing is coming from some other program or other thing, right? So in that case it would be better if we use this approach. Okay, so I'll show you all these required matter so that you can easily work on these things. So for that, now what I'll do, I'll simply provide one thing here. Let me simply go and write here one method, that is check control. So this would be the method that we will be using while answering the while verifying the output. So here I will just simply mention if isFormControls, and remember this is completely case sensitive, so if you are writing something with a small case, make sure to write it in a small case, otherwise it won't work. So this dot username, username, this is what I want to check. Then let me clear this curly braces. Yeah, if isFormControl this dot username, then we will mention here console.log, then we will write here this is a form control. Okay, then we will put a semicolon over here, then we will write here console.log, and then we will put the value. So value colon, then we will put a comma here, this dot username dot value. Okay, so this is how we will put, and then we can put a semicolon over here. That's it. So this thing is ready. We have created one form control with a name username. Then I'm checking if isFormControl is returning true. In that case, we want to show one message on console that this is a form control, and also we want to show that value that we have, the form value. Clear? All right. Now here you can see isFormControl is a method which is accepting a parameter. Okay, so always pass a parameter, because this parameter is only the thing that will help you to identify whether it is form control or not. Okay, fine. So in component.ts file, these are the only changes that we are supposed to make. Now we will go to app.component.html file, where I will write the further logic. So let's say here I want to create one input field. So this is my input field. Then I will write here type, let's say text. Then we will write here form control. We will write here form control. Okay, we will write form control. Then after this we will put here equal. Then we will mention the name of the control. In our case it is username. Okay, and also as this is an input field, so it's better to put some label as well. So I will directly write here label which says form control. Maybe we can write username and colon. Fine. Now after this, what we will do, we will put two br tag here, br tag. Okay, then save it, and that's it. Now here we will create one button, and this button will help us to identify whether it is a control or not. Okay, so I will write here check control. Okay, and here I will bind it with my method which we created, right? So I will write here check control method. Okay, it's a method, so I just put parenthesis. Perfect. So this thing is ready. Now let's see how it works in a browser. So I will run this ngserve -open, enter. Just wait for a few seconds, and then it will show you how it works. So let's see. So you can see here we have Angular codes by TextureMate, reactive forms in Angular, isFormControl example, one horizontal row is there, username is there, and one box is there that will help us to key in the value, and then one method was check control with horizontal row. Now I'll do inspect, right click, inspect, console, and here let's say if I put test and click on check control, so it will show me this is a form control, value is test. Now some of you might be thinking like in which case it will not return true, in which case it won't work. So here you can see we have only one thing, and in component file, right, we have only one thing, that is form control. We are sure that it is form control, but let's say if something is there which is not form control, so in that case this method will go in the else block. So if you want, you can also keep one else block here like this. Okay, so here I'll write like this, and inside this I think we will write here console.log. console.log, this is not a form control, but remember this won't work here in this example, because this is something that will work only if we are providing something other than something is wrong here. Let me see, we have one parenthesis open, two parentheses open. It should be outside of this. Okay, not here, it should be outside of this here. Okay, so if there is anything that is like, let's say if instead of username, if you provide something else, it will return that value. Okay, so I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we'll discuss few more things. So thank you for watching TechSharma.